What is the best build on Haze and Deadlock? I see a lot of the games that you play, and I want to see why you're doing so much damage. Well, don't I have a build for you? All right, so we're gonna load up in our sandbox with Haze. I actually just made my own build. First time doing this, so any criticisms are welcome. I definitely want to see how you guys are building Haze and what you guys are enjoying it. We're going to be prioritizing speed, making sure our left click is doing enough damage, as well as getting that alt up as fast as possible and being able to use it as efficiently as possible. Because once you get a couple of those good ones off, you might get a 2 or 3k. They're going to be definitely trying to counter you in those team fights. So we're going to go into our builds. I got the Giga Chat Haze build, 99% win rate. Don't ask for my stats. I don't like giving them out, and there's no way you can check me on it. So you know what? Whatever. 99% rate. Whatever. Anyways, so with this build,
dangerous times. You don't want to be.
We have our early game right here. We have our mid game right here. Late game juice. All of our spirit is pretty much going to be going into our ults, as well as some flexes, some tankiness. And then I label them that says they can't do shit now, because like at this point, if you're getting these items and using these items efficiently, like it's already wraps. Haze excels going in and out of fights. She can take 1v1s really well. Some of the tankier people, if you're not doing enough damage, like an Abrams, who pretty much a lot of people have troubles to kill, can give you difficulties, but you throw your dagger, you sleep them, you invis, and you go away, right? So her ability to engage as well as disengage is really good. And using that all in those team fights, sleeps, that kind of stuff, is why she is absolutely so much fun to play. And having that impact on fights, kind of like a 7 alt as well, has that same impact where you can completely decimate an entire team on a 6v6. So first and foremost, I'm going to be buying extra stam. This not only helps you to be going over to gank other lanes, but Haze is not incredibly strong early on. So making sure that you have that stamina and you have that movement to secure those souls and take other souls is paramount. So after that, it doesn't really matter where we go from here. I'm going to be buying 3 of the 4 of these. However your matchup is, if you're in a duo lane, if you're solo lane, just pick the ones that you think might sound the best. I'm not super intricate on like, oh my god, I'm against a Abrams, I need to know how to fight him with restorative shot versus headshot booster. You know what I mean? So however you feel the game is going for you, if you need fire rate booster, if you need bullet velocity, whatever it may be, I'm not the nerdiest dude when it comes to a lot of these stuff. This is why it's color coordinated. It's a lot of the things that just make her better and allow you to snowball. You're going to be selling these items anyway, so whether it be you want more fire rate, more weapon damage, whatever it is, however your lane is being set up per game, each game is different. I promise you, these are all good options. So laning phase, you're around the 10-minute, 15 minutes maybe max. You're going to be buying any 3 of these. So I got 3 of them. During that time, we're also be getting sprint boots. During that time, we're also grabbing these 2 as well. So we have 2 purples, 2 greens, and 3 oranges, okay? Again, however you feel like you need to do these in order is completely up to you. You know, if you're down on souls, making sure that you're jungling, which, by the way, key moment right here. Look at me. Zoom in on the camera. Look at me. Jungle. You need to jungle. Haze's ability to jungle and do it quickly is insane. Not only with her movement speed, because we're investing in it, but also once you get some of these later game items that we're going to be talking about, she clears camps like crazy. You can be in and out of team fights. You can clear lanes like she is the all-purpose tool, and you're going to reap the benefits from that. So it's gonna be looking something like this: 2 greens, 2 purples, 3 oranges. That 4th orange before you get any flex slots is going to be active reload. Makes your gun faster rate of fire. Shout out to Smifu for showing me this. When we get our next flex spot, we're gonna go to kinetic dash, which I'll show you just in a second. But basically, magazine size and rate of fire give you more stacks for more bullets, and they just help that early game phase trying to secure kills. So we're gonna open up our what is it? Unlock flex slots. And we're gonna do kinetic dash. This is usually the 4th one that I go into. If for some reason you have a lane lacking, you're not getting that flex spot, you're kind of falling behind, you can absolutely sell one of these for this kinetic dash. Obviously not ideal, but this is where we're at. To get into our kinetic dash active reload, we're gonna be reloading first. Kinetic dash, 41 bullets. Incredibly faster rate of fire, right? So using those two pretty early on is incredibly beneficial. So after we have those, bullet lifesteal is a must, and you kind of have two different routes you can go. If you guys are kind of winning, you want to get more ults off, and you guys are doing well, we can do an improved cooldown. And also just making sure that, you know, now we're at like the 15 to 17 minute, maybe 20 minutes. Hopefully you guys have more souls. Reactive barrier is very good, so that fills out our greens. So now let's say we're at the 20-minute mark. This is pretty much like you're definitely in mid game. Mid boss might be fighting more. Urns are being ran. People are kind of figuring out where they're gonna be leveling out, whether there's people that are gonna be fed or lanes are losing, whatever it may be. So this is where things get very situational. This is how the base should look, right? You got your level 1 oranges, you got your some level 2 stuff in there, but this is where we need to start getting juice. This is where hopefully you've been farming a few camps, you've secured a few kills. If you guys are losing, this is where you need to double down on farming. That does not mean not be a part of your team, making sure that you see where your teammates are at on the map and being able to farm around them. Since we're investing in her speed, being able to, again, engage, disengage, be a part of events is very easy for her. So we're in our mid game. Let's say in terms of abilities, we have this maxed out, which is the biggest thing you want to max out. I do have the abilities on which order you want to put them in on the build as well. Right here under my camera, right? So ideally we're going, this is maxed out. Let's say we have a couple here.
And vanish.
This might be one, whatever. So where we at right now? Let's say we're right here. Right, 15-minute mark. We've got our 3 maxed out. We've got, you know, 2 into our knife. We got 1 into our smoke, which again, you don't even need to do. I'm kind of just giving an example, but we're about to upgrade to our max ult. By that time you hit that max ult, you need to be working on ricochet. Okay, this is where Haze really gets that power spike. This is really where she starts to take over in jungles as well as fights. So ricochet,
I get to sell my wares to a
if you don't have
dream
that
star.
extra
The
flex
boys ain't
slot,
gonna believe it.
you definitely can sell one of your tier 1s, right? And then you're still at your 1 flex spot, assuming you guys took out all those tier 1s. You go ricochet, we're good. We're farming, we're in and out of fights. This is Haze time now, okay? After ricochet, again, situational, depends on where you want to go. If I'm building, it's gonna be superior stamina. Superior stamina. So now we are really flying without the map. Since we are pretty heavy in our 70% for our weapons, improved reach is usually where I go. You can go mystic reach if that's what you want to do. If you want to go a cheaper 500, I usually get improved reach. Use it on your ult. So now we have all 4 of our items in each category. This is kind of now entering the end game, late game. Our ult is on cooldown quicker. Our ult is reaching further. We have our bullet lifesteal, we have our speed, and we have ricochet. Those are kind of the where you need to be at in terms of like, okay, now we're at like the 20-minute plus mark. Maybe 25 minutes again, depending on how your game goes. I'm sorry I keep saying that, but it's something that you need to remember because it's something that I forget as well. So let's say we're getting into some of the better items for your weapon. So we're gonna go burst fire, but we're gonna be selling headshot booster, okay? So we're still only 1 flex spot. I'm gonna go enduring speed. So now where we're at for green is usually like where I stop. If you need to be more tanky and you're just getting demolished, I did put the stuff on the bottom of the build, whether you need to get bullet armor or spear armor. When you tab and you look at the people, you see their bars, right? look at how many people have a big ass purple bar or a big yellow bar. If it's kind of split, which it has been recently, I don't know if that's intentional for matchmaking of people like scale with spirit versus scale with weapon, and they're kind of trying to combine them. It's been very interesting recently. If that's the case, and it's just like you have 3 people with yellow bars, 3 people with purple bars, look at who's the most fed. If you have a 7 who is just eating everybody, get something to resist him, okay? But that's gonna be pretty much where we're at for greens, okay? Now this is where, again, we're depending on matchups. Let's say you have a Vindicta and Grey Talon who are just eating. We're gonna go sharpshooter, right? We're gonna sell Hollow Point Ward. We're gonna go sharpshooter.
I'll throw in a free
okay?
keychain.
I only say that because of the situation of them being far away, you needing to close the gap, and getting that extra damage fall off is huge. You can knife them because they're not really fast to move. You can close that gap real quick and throw an ult in their face, and then it's GG. Now, since we have 2 late game items, we're at 82% for our weapon damage, which is solid. Where I like to go next is unstoppable. Okay, we throw it on here.
Be the only one left standing, Haze.
Let's say we got our second flex spot. Let's say the tier 2 walkers are down. Unstoppable is the play. I used to get silencer. It's more expensive. I didn't really understand the difference between the two. Not that I don't understand the difference, but I was just buying this. I was like, if they can't use their abilities, it's fine. But this is cheaper for unstoppable. You cannot get thrown out of your ult. I've had Ivies try to throw their gargoyle ass on my head and it doesn't stop it, and they end up dying for it. Your reach for your ult is bigger, your cooldown is faster, so this is where the success of ults come into play and start to really snowball. Let's say it's still an even game. Let's say we're around the 30-35 minute mark for these games. I'm probably going to be going something like superior cooldown or superior duration. Let's just say we go cooldown, throw it on our ult again, and we're just gonna be getting it quicker. Now it's time to get some more weapon damage, or you can do weapon damage before the cooldown. Like, it really just depends on where your soul count is. Ideally, this is kind of just the idea that you're thinking of. It's like, okay, I threw an ult on a team. We're about even on souls, and I didn't hurt anybody. I threw it in their back line. I got one dude killed who was already weak, and then there's a Dynamo who just ate everything, or there was a Infernus who didn't get hurt at all. Whatever it is, right? You're just making sure that your ult scales with spirit, and if your ult is not working, you need to make sure you're putting some love and attention into that as well. Or if you're left clicking people and your max size is too small, or you're not doing enough damage, that is also something you need to think about when you're scaling Haze. Or you're getting melted too much and you're making all the right plays. You're going in invis and you're throwing your dagger, you're sleeping and nothing is happening, and you're getting demolished before you can get anything off. Whatever it is, throw some life on her. So now this is where the fun part starts, okay? Glass cannon, not really needed for her, but my God, when you can delete people, glass cannon is like addicting. It's like actually a drug. Same with unstoppable. Like, those are like my two like ones where I don't need it, but it's like, oh my God, when I have it, like they can't do anything. Literally, like, they can't do shit now category, right? I should put glass cannon down there. Glass cannon, lucky shot, either one. You do get ammo with lucky shot, so bigger mag size. You do lose health with glass cannon as well. You get more stacks. Again, glass cannon is very much of like, you're putting so much DPS out that as long as you're not getting caught, you're good. And of course, with lucky shot, you're doing more damage, you're slowing them. So really depends on what you like. I've been choosing glass cannon more over lucky shot. They're the same price, but let's just say we went lucky shot here. We have the best game of all time, right? We're at like the 40-minute mark right now. We just got their inhibs. We're inside their base. We can't finish the game. We just got our last flex spot, right? Now it depends on where you want to go. Are you getting ults off correctly? Are they doing 3, 4, 5Ks? Hopefully. If not, throw Boundless Spirit on there. Throw Improved Spirit on there. Either one of those is going to help scale your ability with your ult. Are you getting eaten by dudes who are also being fed? Throw improved armor from the previous one that you threw on earlier. Leech is also incredibly strong as well. You get bullet and spirit lifesteal. So when you're in those fights, I have a clip of Great Talon who we're trading. I have a leech on, and neither one of us are dying. Neither one of us are. My life steal with him was so much that I just wasn't going down, and I ended up winning the fight. But regardless, leech incredibly important. You want to go soul rebirth. You the carry so that when you die, you know the game is over. Because we're at this point now where if anybody dies in a 6v6 and it becomes that 5v6, and then one more dies, and then it's a 4v6. That's where like the snowball can really take place, and if you guys are on a minute timer for respawn, it's GG's. So I'm rambling at this point. Go glass cannon, go vampiric burst. I've actually been using this more often recently. I wasn't a fan at first, but it's actually insane. Move speed already.
The boys ain't gonna believe it.
This guy is so annoying. Anyways, movement speed, weapon damage, and bonus health. Grants lifesteal, fire rate, and ammo. The size added ammo is not limited to your magazine size, okay? So, boom. We're firing. Vampiric burst. Boom. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Boom again. Now I have no cooldowns on, so you can't do it in, you know, 2 in 1 mag, but you get the point where you get that boost of rate fire, you get the boost of magazine size, and I think it went to like hella bullets. So like 170 bullets, and my mag was 119. Okay, so vampiric burst, very strong. Silencer, you want to do it? You want to throw alt in? You want to just make sure you secure that alt? You throw that on your 2. You go 1-2 with unstoppable silencer. GG's, it's over. I think that's it for the most part. Again, I'm gonna make this public. Look for it. It's going to be the GigaChad Haze build, 99% win rate. 99. That's how good this build is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I live stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ChadRails. This is my second account on YouTube. Follow my main account as well at ChadRails. Hope you guys see you there live in the stream. Ready?